king on screen.
King on screen.
Hmm.
What entry are we at, Robert?
We are Word Processor of the Gods, which is not a film, but it showed up on Tales from the Dark Side in 1984. So,
Yes, and I'm glad they did this one. It's certainly a product of its time, but it does work. And I did enjoy the short story, especially you. I read it when I was younger,
mm,
when word processors were a basic thing, and they were called word processors.
we should tell
It's a
people what a
computer.
word processor is.
It's a computer. It's an early computer, basically used for very simple programs and writing and printing. It's like a basic caveman version of Word.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was the word processor. But if you haven't seen the story, you should read it. It's a short one. Basically, things that he types comes to life. But this has been done a few times before, or after. But this was an original idea. That's
Yeah.
very good. It's one of my favorite short stories
Yeah,
of
that's
his.
good. So, first published in 83 in Playboy, and then they put it into Skeleton Crew a couple years later. So,
Love it.
but yeah, so directed by Michael Gornick, stars Bruce Davison. Um,
Yeah. This was
but
in
yeah,
season one, episode 8 of Tales from
yes,
the Dark Side.
yeah. So, and like I put a little note of like with a lot of Stephen King's, maybe it shows up more in her early work that, this person's a writer, so
Yes.
his early work, he's either a writer or a teacher or something like that. But he
Or
also,
or always an alcoholic, and a lot of
yeah,
them because of his real life
yeah,
dependency.
yeah, 100%. So, but I think it kind of works when you talk about, like, say, creep shows and stuff, these little, because especially kind of these short stories work better. They continue to be short films as well, and it kind of works. You're in, you're out. Could you imagine trying to stretch this into a full film? Would just be like, well, there's not much until you
No,
get you to, you know, it'd be too
or a
much to
four
do. Yeah,
novel. I mean,
yeah,
I feel like The Raft, this, basically
yeah,
anything in Night Shift or Skeleton Crew, with the exception of like The Mist and Children of the Corn, they work better as short, and
yeah,
maybe a few others. They work better as short, films and or novellas.
yeah.
And I feel like that's one of his strengths. His weaknesses are sometimes the ending. He can't doesn't know how to
Never,
end it.
never, yeah. And
But
this one ends probably just about right.
I
There's
think
only a
so.
couple of ways you could end it and so forth. Oh, but anyway, but yeah.
There's a short story he did in, I forget what it's in, but it's called The Sundog, and it's about
Mm,
Polaroid that when you take pictures, a dog shows up in each, like a killer dog, and it foreshadows what's going to happen.
mm,
Where this one is kind of the reverse. Or it's kind of the same, but it starts. He kind of takes cues from his other books
yeah,
along with characters, but this one came first. And the one thing I liked about this is the character explores kind of a little bit. Like it's not just you don't just shut it down. You have no
yeah,
story. He kind of plays with fire, and it's good. It works. I don't know.
yeah.
It's good.
It does. It is. It works for what it is. So yeah.
I haven't seen this one in a while. I have
Yeah.
certainly seen it, but have you watched this one recently? Does it
I
hold
did a
up?
few weeks ago. Whenever I travel, then I kind of have this brain wipe as like, what happened before I traveled? But but yeah. So it seemed to be okay. And part of me is I couldn't quite remember how it ended, but um, before I was watching it, but it started to come back to me. So
Did you enjoy it?
I did actually because it was, it's like okay. And
Yeah.
it's one of those like, what would you do if you had this? What would you type in there?
What would you type in, Robert, to stay in the poltergeist house? Oh, wait, you
I
already
don't.
did it.
I already. That's the thing. I already kind of live this world because it's interesting because I have my on my travel notes. It did say poltergeist question mark. So